What does it mean to put sound before sight? That's what we're going to talk about today, as well as how to teach the very first lesson in the PianoForte method. So a child's very first lesson at the piano. Now, to put sound before sight means what it says. We introduce children to the experience of music so that they can learn to hear it and learn to sing it, and then introduce the notation that represents the sounds that they recognize. Now, of course, when a child comes to us for piano lessons, they also are there to learn to play the piano. So the challenge for us is to present this way of teaching sound before sight in a way that also allows them to learn how to play the piano. And the PianoForte method begins exactly in this way, and we're going to walk through that together today. So this is the first lesson in PianoForte Level 1. The first lesson in the PianoForte method consists of 4 elements. The first is finger numbers, and then how to use the voice for singing, basic piano geography, and by that I mean just simply the black keys and the white keys and the groups that the black keys go in, and then the solfa syllables so and mi. Finally, all of this can be put together in a little song. We begin by learning the left hand and the right hand and labeling the fingers. The children have a chance to trace their hands and play all sorts of games with learning the finger numbers. This is a theory page, just drilling the finger numbers. This is sometimes a little bit confusing for young children, especially as they're just learning how to tell the difference between their right hand and their left hand, maybe at school. And now they have to learn that all the fingers have numbers as well. So this is the first thing that we learn when we open the book. The second thing goes straight into making sound, and this is such a fun way to do it by exploring how the voice can go up and down. And they have the chance to draw their own little voice patterns here that you can sing together. The elements of keyboard geography that are introduced at this stage are the high and low sides of the piano in relation to pitch, and the groups of 2 and 3 black keys. In the book, they have the opportunity to circle groups of 2 and 3 black keys, but of course, this is also a chance to decorate the keyboard. And I always use this as an opportunity to explain that if the keyboard kept on going, this last note would be a group of 3, and I do it like that. And then before a student learns their first piece to play on the piano, we learn the pitches so and mi, and we do it with the Kerwin hand signs, which are here. Now, if you're new to this, so and mi are simply the 5th and the 3rd scale degree in a diatonic major scale. So this would be in the key of C, this would be G, this would be E, for example. So, mi. Children hear this very easily. These are the first overtones in the overtone series, so we can hear them very easily. We practice reading them in this pre-notation way over here on these lines, and we can sing along with the birds. So, mi, 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 mi. And we sing through this. This is prepping their ear for what comes on the next page. On the next page is the very first song that they'll take home to practice. This song, Flying Birds, uses all the elements the child has learned so far. It uses right hand and left hand, the solfa syllables so and mi, the keyboard geography, black notes and white notes, and the groups of 3 and 2, and also their finger numbers because they're using right hand, left hand, and the number 3. You can see that the child has the opportunity to transpose this piece and play it in 3 different keys. So here we have the key of F sharp major. So it's so and mi, or the 5th scale degree and the 3rd. Then it's moved to the key of G major with the same pattern, and finally to the key of B major with the same pattern. So if we were to take this one, for example, On the keyboard, it would be like this. I'll play with one hand. So, 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 me, me, me. And of course, you can sing the words. Birds are flying in the sky, etc. Now, the other super important element that's introduced at this stage is technique and the use of the third finger with the thumb not twisting the wrist round. So the use of the third finger in both hands so that we can begin to experience arm weight and wrist flexibility. So this song would go, so, 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 me, 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 etc. This first lesson in the PianoForte method introduces children to sound before sight. It introduces them to the idea that we can sing sound and we can move around and we can produce the sound on the piano. It seems quite simplistic because they go away with just a few lists of things that they have learned, but those things lay the foundation for all of the musical knowledge that comes next. Everything that they have learned in the lesson is immediately put to use and they understand how it all fits together. They go home singing, they go home playing, and they're already moving around the keyboard with two hands. This is after the very first lesson. So after the very first lesson, the children are experiencing immense joy and creativity, and already they're experiencing independence at the keyboard, which of course is what we want. If the child is very young, and by that I mean maybe 4, 5, or a young 6, and they're taking piano lessons, this method suits them perfectly. They might need an additional time spent on each lesson with some additional singing material and activities. You can find some supporting activities and materials, some supplements, on the PianoForte Method website, and those are free to download, and I hope you enjoy it.